Yo, what's going on? It's Terrell, Hall of Fame, D-Line, TBKC, and all that other good stuff. And this is Bully Rants. Man, I just had a long trip, but it's one of those things. We gotta do what we gotta do. This one in particular is about putting your breedings together, meshing bloods, all that good stuff, and the purpose. I just did one that was very similar. It was something more so towards explaining how a breeding that I did broke down. Well, I would say this one is more so a little bit more, I guess we would say, vague, but it could cover all bases if you are calling yourself building a yard, sorry, or just picking two puppies to match with each other. And I just spoke with a gentleman about this last week. And if you're doing, if you're starting off, let's put it that way, you want to start off taking two bloods that you totally identify with what they represent and what they could represent for your program, or maybe just your breeding pair that happens to be pets. Now, the one thing you don't want to do is breed yourself into a corner immediately. No matter what people tell you, line breeding is nice. Like characteristic breeding is better, in my opinion. The reason being is no matter which way we cut it, if we basically are doing ancestral breeding with our dogs, you're running more and more risk of having health issues. This is the same reason why we see issues that come along with the blue dogs, with skin issues. I'm noticing a rise in the skin issues in the tri-colored dogs and different things. Is because in order to get those looks, we've often compounded those genes by doing basically, cousin to cousin, brother to sister, dad to daughter type breedings to lock in certain traits so that we could get them. But that's the lazy way out a lot of times. One of the things that we can do is, first and foremost, find dogs that may be related further down the line, but also carry the characteristics that you're looking for. I would always start with the very foundation, which is structure. Structure is always going to be your hardest thing to change. If you can change it, I don't think we will be very successful at doing a lot of changes to structure. Second of all, size. Size is very important because, say for instance, if you are a true hobby breeder and you're only going to have one, maybe two litters here and there, you want to be able to target what size your dogs are going to be. So if you pick pocket blood, for your female, and you pick, standard or XL blood for your male, the truth of the matter is you're not going to fall in between like on a consistent basis. You're going to have some XL type dogs. You're going to have some pocket dogs. And you don't really want that. You want to be consistent, So I've often talked about picking your own standard, which, for example, in my yard, my standard, I love my males to be around the 16 to 17 inch mark as far as weight go. I would prefer 100 to 110 pounds. And this is something you have to shoot for, you know what I mean? It's not going to come automatically. But, head size for me, my target head size is 26 inches, But with all of that, I will say this is that I'm still not sacrificing structure. I still want very, very nice paws, even on a tighter big bone dog. I want straight fronts. I want beautiful top lines. I want great rear end angulation and overall movement. And this is something that we can't get away from. We have to build our dogs from the ground up. We have to know exactly what we're looking for, and we have to go about it that way. Now, as you dig deeper into breeding, it's a great thing to question as much as you can about the dogs that you're going to get, and about their pedigrees, and about the dogs behind their pedigrees, and what characteristics did they carry physically, and also, temperament wise. So you'll get a better gauge of your dogs and what you're going to be getting. I know for me, I like Excalibur blood, but I do know that Excalibur was a tough dog. Most of the dogs that come from that blood are going to be a more of an assertive dog. They're not going to be pushover type dogs. They're very rarely just the little teddy bears that you can just whatever. Those dogs have a little bit of attitude, which I like, They are good people dogs, but they're not the easiest dogs on other dogs. They tend to be very dominant around other dogs, but under control. Now, in my yard, the Denzel blood is also that way, and to the point that it's a little bit hot. So when it comes to other dogs that and it's hot in the pack mentality sense, and that's something also to know, is that certain dogs are hot in the pack mentality sense to where they don't attack dogs that are around them a lot, but strange dogs, they'll probably give them the business. Now some dogs are just hot straight out and they don't like any dog, so we have to deal with that also. But this is something else that you want to get deeper into as you build your dog. you know Understanding, and there are charts and stuff about rear end movement and the way your dog's rear end is, and I'm just going from topic to topic. That is very important because, especially in such a muscular breed, one of the problems that we're seeing is bad hips. If you are a family man or family woman and you're getting this dog around the 4 to 5 year mark or earlier with some of these dogs, you will start to see some hip issues if you don't do the proper things. Unfortunately, we don't have a bunch of responsible breeders in this thing. So, make sure that you're educating yourself and you're pushing forward in the right direction to make sure that you're getting the type of dog that you need to get. Now, I guess to sum all of this up is that you need to make a checklist, and your checklist needs to be this. Am I satisfied with the blood of not only the parents, but the grandparents, and even we can go back to the great-grandparents. A real breeder can break down the great-grandparents for you just as easily as they can the parents. Now, am I satisfied with the temperament? Am I satisfied with the structure I'm getting? Are the dogs in the size range that I want my dog to be? This should all be on your list. You should definitely pay close attention to feet and hips, because those are some of the more prevalent issues that we have in the American bully community. You should be asking these questions of heart issues and how and where does that come into play in these particular lines. These are things that you need to know. Structure is one thing, building from the ground up, but also make sure that these dogs are very, very healthy. And when I say healthy, go back 2, 3, 4 generations. Find out, if you can, what these dogs died from, or if they're still living, what problems have they had throughout life, and make you a chart. I like to call it a doggy diary. You just write in there everything that you found out about your dog so you can get a better understanding of your breeding. Breeding is not something that happens overnight. No matter what people tell you, it should be a long, thought out process where you totally understand what it is you're trying to produce, and not just saying I'm putting 2 good dogs together and this is what's going to happen. Before I go, like as an example, I will use my breeding with Denzel's son, Red Bull. Red Bull's mom is a lot of Paco on the other side. Denzel is also Paco. Paco is his grandfather. So that's a tighter line bred breeding. This boy is a pocket, but he's massive. 85 pounds of rock hard muscle, very large head, one of the best necks I've ever seen. Well, when I seen him and I seen his structure, I said the perfect complement would be Mandela. The thing that I don't like about Mandela has a gorgeous top line and he has all the other things. I don't totally like his rear end angulation. It's not that perfection that we seek. To me, he could be slightly cowhawked. It wouldn't be something that you just immediately pick up on and be like, but me as a judge and looking, I'm like, dude, those legs could be straighter in the back. But he's a massive dog, so that happens sometimes. Red Bull holds the mass, but he's very straight. So with Kiki being a Mandela daughter, I played to that effect of, okay, well, with Red Bull, maybe I can add, the other 20 pounds that Mandela holds over him to that frame of muscularity. He can bring in even better angulation and still keep the muscle in the rear end. You're line breeding the Paco blood, but not meshing it too tight. So you're keeping the look with the Bistro dog, which runs back into the, of course, Lock and Load Homie, which goes to the Heartbreaker, the Nemesis, a long line of, beautiful head dogs outside of Lock and Load, but Homie, Homie, Bistro, Nemesis, Heartbreaker all have beautiful heads. So I want to keep that headpiece, which both Mandela and Red Bull have. So I bred heavily towards the head gene. The size genes are there. The structure overall is there. The one structure point that I pulled out is that I would like to see a better rear. And Mandela's daughter Kiki, she carries these traits very well through him. She has a nice head, very, very, very thick, wide body, a little shorter, but she will give me what I want. And when I go into breedings, I think about that. I also think about the fact that Red Bull is a little hotter. Mandela's a little bit more relaxed for the most part. So when we come to that, that's a good blend of personality to where Mandela can maybe take a little heat off of there. Kiki is more relaxed, so by putting that together, I'm hoping that we can get a good blend of personality there to where Red Bull's not out of control, but I would never breed a dog that's sort of hot to another hot dog because you're compounding it. So I get balance on that one. But overall, on that breeding, I expect, you know, pocket males that'll be 100 pounds tight, very, very good angulation overall. And I expect very big heads and good bones with the straight fronts. It's something that, you know, you have to work at, but it's just a thought process. So I'm out of here, man. I gave y'all all the thoughts I had. I ran my mouth. I'm pretty sure I missed something. If y'all have any questions, y'all know what it is. 727-744-0963 or Hall of Fame Pits. Hall of Fame Pits with the S on there, 3600@gmail.com. Y'all can also check me out on Facebook, Hall of Fame Bullies, or on YouTube, True American Bullies. Get with me, man. Yes, I still have some spots open on some of these very good breedings, and possibly having a couple studs opened up to Mandela and Denzel. I'm not sure right now. I have to check and see if the payments came in. But I'll holler at y'all and catch y'all next time. God bless all y'all. Peace.